Hello everyone, welcome back. We're out in the orchard in a beautiful mid-March day here in western New York, as you can see. It's very pretty, and I thought I would make a video today just kind of walking around. Like I said, it's mid-March. This is somewhat unusual that it's not that it's like this today, but it's been like this for the entire month. It's pretty much been between 30 and 40 degrees every day. Kind of mixed precipitation, gray skies. Once in a while the sun comes out for a few minutes, but this has pretty much been March, which is somewhat unusual in the sense that we typically do get some 50, 60 degree days kind of folded into this kind of weather, but this March has been all like this. And I want to talk about some of the benefits of that because the downsides are obvious. You can sort of see them. By this time of year, we're ready for spring to come. We're sort of, cabin fever setting in. We want to get outside and really work in the garden. And there's not a whole lot you can really do when it's like this. But if you have fruit trees, for example, this is fantastic weather because March, there hasn't been a single day that's been warm. And it looks like for the rest of March, the warmest we're going to get is the last week of March. We're going to start to get a few 40-some degree days, 44, 43, 42 for a high. And that's really good news because you don't want your apple trees, your peach trees, your pear trees, your pawpaw trees, cherries to start waking up early because they'll start to put out their flowers in April. And this has happened to us before. And then you get a really bad frost in mid to late April, and you lose 60, 70, or 100% of your flower buds. The tree will still be fine. It'll grow and be healthy, but you won't have any fruit. And of course, that's why you're growing these things, is for fruit. Not that they're not ornamental as well, but so when the weather is cold like this, and it's pretty much unbroken cold, the trees don't start to wake up, which is fantastic. These are way behind. This, I think, is probably the coldest March since we've lived here in this particular house we live in now. This is it's going to be our 7th summer, and this is going to be, I think, the coldest March for sure. I mean, usually, I was looking back last year, so look at that pawpaw bud right there. On that branch, you can barely even tell that it's a flower bud. Last year, for example, in March is when I built this fence. So it was green, the grass was green, it was like 60 degrees, I was working outside in my t-shirt and just working away comfortably, and it was literally a year ago, almost to the day, mid-March of 2022, so this is a lot colder and pretty unusual that there's no break in it at all. I mean, it's not unusual that we get snow in March in western New York, but it's unusual that it holds on for so long. But that's a big plus if you have not only fruit trees but other perennials. Like here's some blueberries we have in containers. Those are nice and sleepy in their containers. And those just, by the way, if you're wondering about having to overwinter those haven't moved in 2 or 3 years. They've been sitting in those same containers and they do fine. So they freeze solid in the winter, but they wake right up and produce fruit every year and do really well. So no worries there. And it's nice, you don't want them to flower too early. Otherwise, they can fall victim to the same thing that apples and pears and so forth can with the frost getting the fruit buds. Another view of the orchard here, snowy. Again, none of these buds are even thinking about waking up. Let's take a look at our Calville Blanc apple, for example. See these little spikes? Those are hard as a rock, closed, tight. That's exactly what you want to see. Until like at least mid-April, then they can start to think about waking up and be a lot safer. So thank you for watching. I hope this gives you some positive spin on the weather if you're in our neck of the woods. And we hope to see you again soon, and hopefully there'll be some flowers shortly.